It starts, as all good stories do, with a tweet. Do I say, hey YouTube? Do I do like an intro? It's been a while. So the other day I was on Twitter, as I usually am, and I came across this tweet. It's about Tar, one of my favorite movies of last year, and it made me chuckle for several reasons. First, anything to do with Tar makes me chuckle ever since I saw a tweet of a guy doing an impression of Trump talking about Lydia Tar. Never left my mind since. I'm not going to do the impression myself because it would be awful. But then anything else that mentions gamers as like a concrete group just makes me chuckle. So this tweet had it all. But it also brought up what I think is just a misreading of the ending of Tar, which is why I wanted to talk about it. It's one of my favorite endings of a movie in recent times. It's funny, goofy, but just a little bit tragic. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. If you're one of those people that doesn't like spoilers in a YouTube video, first of all, I don't know why you would click a video that says it's clearly about the ending of a movie. But anyway, if you don't like spoilers, here's your warning. Go watch the movie, come back, watch this. Not that big of a deal. Do with that what you will, but here's your warning. So the movie ends with Lydia Tar conducting the score to like the movie version of Monster Hunter, which is like a video game series. I think I just read the Wikipedia page. I don't play video games. And then while she's conducting, the camera pans over the audience and they're all in cosplay in this concert hall. And it's a pretty funny scene. Yeah, it's a pretty funny scene because there's a huge juxtaposition between the world that Lydia Tar and the audience, like the audience watching the film, not the audience in the concert hall. That could be confusing. There's a difference between this. You know, for the whole movie, you're following Lydia Tar in her world of, you know, high culture, concert black, concert halls, blind auditions, the New Yorker radio hour, all that good stuff. And then now we're here at a video game convention. And, you know, there's a broader conversation to be had here about what constitutes high and low culture. Should video games be appreciated as art? Roger Ebert would say no, but that's a discussion for another day. And I think everyone would agree that in the general public consensus, there's a difference between these two. And while I think Todd Field is smart enough to know that this juxtaposition is going to get a reaction from the audience, whether that be a chuckle or, you know, a jilted gamer being angry at this, it's more than just that. It's not just this juxtaposition made to have a cheap laugh at the end of the film. That would, you know, ruin everything that the film has been going for up until the end. So what I think the ending is doing is it's actually emphasizing what I think is the tragedy of the movie, Lydia's loss of control. In the opening scene of the film, Lydia is being interviewed on the New Yorker radio hour by Adam Gopnik, who plays himself with remarkable accuracy, I might say. And she mentions something that becomes crucial to her character and where she has this desire for control. I'm just getting back on YouTube, so I'm not going to put in a clip of the movie and then maybe get taken down. I don't know how this all works just yet, so, you know, pretend I'm her. This is what she says in the scene. I'll read off my computer screen. Time is the thing. Time is the essential piece of interpretation. You cannot start without me. I am the clock. Well, it looked weird. I got my laptop down there, and I'm reading off of it for that. And throughout the film, we see her display this control over time through conducting. Every time she goes to conduct, you know, maybe she pauses for a second, maybe she, you know, lifts her hand and waits before really getting the internal clock started and keeping everyone together on time. She always has this control. Now at the end of the movie, after she's lost almost everything, and a strong emphasis on the almost, you know, she still has a job, she's still conducting, and I think it's very deliberate that she doesn't lose everything, which I think would really make this film less great than it is. So now she's conducting at this video game convention. But one thing is different, though, this time she's conducting, and that is she does not start the clock anymore. When conducting the live version of a film score, as Lydia is doing in this scene, you use what's called a click track, which is basically like a metronome being played on a headset for the conductor, so the conductor knows when to start, so everyone can keep in sync with the movie, because that's the whole goal of the performance, to take the score, do it live, and make it sync up. But that means she is no longer starting the clock. She's beholden to this click track. She must listen to the metronome to keep things going. She no longer starts the clock. The clock is starting her. Mind blown. While I do think there is some comedy in this scene, particularly with how out of place the people in their cosplay outfits look in the concert hall, which again calls the audience to question what type of dress and behavior is or should be associated with performance spaces. Again, another broader topic for another day. But you can't lie. It is pretty funny, but I don't think it exists to be a swipe at video games or gaming culture as the tweet suggests. In fact, it's just using this medium to show how there's a distinct difference in how conducting works for this medium, and even if the audience does not care about this difference, we know from having spent the time with her throughout this film that Lydia Tarr cares. Tar was one of my favorite movies to come out last year. I love how it gives us this comprehensive look at a character, and it invites the audience to not really take her too seriously, even when, and especially when she's taking herself too seriously. Lydia Tarr is a funny character, not because she's trying to be funny, and the movie is about a serious topic, but there is something, almost intangible, hard to describe about her character that just makes this film funny. I've seen it making the rounds on film Twitter. I saw a tweet that used the quote I mentioned earlier about how, she says, "I start the clock." And the caption said the guy on the cloud in Mario Kart be like. It's funny for both reasons I think that were intended in the movie and reasons that weren't intended in the movie. Please watch Tar if you'd like to. It's a great movie. Let's see how this goes. I don't know how I'm going to end it. Do I do an outro? Do I have some cool music here? We'll find out.